Peace and blessings, family. It is yours truly. I am Amar Maury. I am the founder of El Kebalan Unity Alliance. My queen, Amani Maury, is the co-founder. And we focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. We believe in those major tiers of your life. If you're well in those areas of your life, that you will live a very good life. This is the good life. You know, being spiritually grounded, having good health, and being financially prosperous. Okay, so this is our prayer for all of you. Okay, we're praying blessings over your family. May your family be blessed spiritually. May you be in good health, all right, physically, okay, and may you prosper economically. Alafiyah Ibe, Yoruba, for good health to you, family. Okay, Ibe, Yoruba, that's what it stands for. Okay, it's family, okay. Alafiyah, good health, wellness to you. Okay, and I'm a practitioner. I just started Ifa, and truly, that's the word of Olodumare. Olodumare. For some, you may say Allah, Yah. Some may say God. Okay, that is the creator of all. Okay, and so today I just would like to restore us, peace and blessings, my good sister Latandra. Peace and blessings. I met my sister, my queen, and we met her in our good brother Bubakar's store, Ethnic Vibes. If you're ever here in the Memphis area, go check Ethnic Vibes out. Okay, Ethnic Vibes, instead of the C at the end, it's a K. So go check them out, Ethnic Vibes, family. So anyway, we're going to talk about restoring family orientation. Okay, to today's topic of discussion is restoring family orientation. Okay, for those of you who are just starting out your spiritual walk and you want to evolve in your mind, okay, I highly encourage you to get out your pen and your paper, okay, and I'm going to go through some principles on today. Okay, we're going to deal with the 7 principles. Some people say the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, but really it's really the 7 principles because these are life principles. Okay, so it's Nguzo Saba, the Nguzo Saba. Okay, that's spelled N-G-U-Z-O. Okay, space Saba. Okay, S-A-B-A. Okay, 7. Okay, Nguzo Saba, you know, principles. Okay, so we're going to deal with that on today. We're going to talk about restoring our family because as we see that is a big problem that we have, okay, in our community. And I'm also going to do a portion of a prayer on today, all right, to help us understand why we have the same amongst our people, that are family that prays together, stays together. So I'm going to give you a portion of, you know, some prayers and to show you that this is the reason why I have such a healthy family. Okay, my queen and we definitely pray together periodically. Okay, and we have a prayer life. We have a spiritual life. So for those who admire our relationship, our foundation is built upon moral principles. This is the reason my queen and we get along so well. And also we get along because it's divinely orchestrated, you know, by the creator, okay, for she and I to be together. Okay, so, you know, we're divinely connected, you know, at the spirit, okay? And so we're going to talk about building a solid foundation. For those who don't know, our names are Cushite. Okay, you know, you could say Nubian, Cushite. Some may say Ethiopian. Okay, and our last name, Amari, is Cushite, and it stands for strength builder. Okay, strength builder. Okay, so I named my son Amar Mari II. My son accepted his name. I presented the name to him, and a name means a lot. And in our culture, you know, whatever name that you're labeled with, that's what you live by. Okay, in my bloodline, I come from 2 people. Okay, over in Africa. Okay, one is the Akan people. Okay, and also the Yoruba people. All right, and with that being said, with the Akan people, should I have been born there, you know, they would have called me Kofi because I was born on Saturday. Excuse me, on Friday. All right, so Saturday, excuse me, actually it's Kwame on Saturday, but I would have been called Kofi. But I also want you to understand too that everybody don't have the same name just because they was born on a certain day. They do have names other than, days of the week. All right. So, for myself, that's what Spirit led me to name myself, is Amar Mari. Amar actually means handsome. My queen and I, we like to think that I am. And that's what my first name means, is handsome. But see, handsome, on a serious tip, it's having a beautiful spirit, man. So you may be saying, like, Brother Ma, what does this have to do with family orientation? Well, it's a tradition, and as I aforesaid, I actually named my son Amar Mari II, as well. So, to pass down that family tradition, and the culture, okay, actually having an African founded name, okay, to get our minds programmed into accepting who we are as a people. Okay, so when we have family structure, when we have the parents that are spiritually minded, culturally minded, okay, when you have parents that are moral, okay, they build strong families, okay, and the family makes up the community, and the community makes up the nation. The family builds up the community, and then the community makes up the nation. Okay. Now, why do we see so much chaos in our community? Is the lack of teaching like this, all right, because we have been cut off from our culture, all right? And so our culture consists of teachings like this, which is moral principles. Moral principles teaching is the knowledge, the awareness is to make you aware, is to enlighten you. Okay, it is supposed to actually strengthen your mind. If teaching that you're listening to does not challenge you spiritually, okay, then I definitely do challenge that teaching as it being African centered. Okay, because any African centered teaching or indigenous teaching in this continent, so-called called America, when you deal with the Shimale people, the so-called Seminoles, okay, when you deal with the Tsalagi, okay, the so-called Cherokee, okay, when you deal with people like that, they have moral principles, teachings, okay? And this is the reason why you see such strong family orientation amongst our people over in the continent of Africa, okay? And because of those of us who have been born here, okay, and don't have any ties with our African roots, due to that, it has unfortunately caused us to literally be out of our minds. The reason why we are so lost, okay, we have no good sense of direction, is because we're not in tune with who we really are spiritually. Okay, spirit first, flesh next. Okay, spiritually. We need to know who we are spiritually. Okay, culturally, it is important where people we come from because, again, connected to a people is a culture. Okay, just like the Yoruba, is Ifa. Also the Akan practice Ifa, right? Or voodoo, right? So this is the reason why it's important to, as parents, for us to find out exactly who we are. In fact, I asked my grandmother, I said, Grandma, where do we come from? Do you know where we come from? Do you know what people we come from? And my grandmother told me to Salagi, and she know that we're African, but she didn't know this is on my mother's side, but she didn't know exactly where we came from. And so then I asked my cousin from my father's side, I asked him, cousin, do you know by any chance where we come from? And then my cousin, fortunately, the ancestors told him before they transitioned, what part of Africa we come from. We come from West Africa, Ghana, and the Ghana area specifically with the Akan people, and I began to research more and I found out what people, we come from. Okay. So this is the reason why I'm able to be able to build a strong, solid foundation in my family. My wife, she even knows what people she come from. Okay, my wife knows her people come from Sierra Leone, Gullah Geechee. You know, she's also Tasalagi as well. Okay, she also knows that she has Blackfoot in her family, Creek in her family. And so our children know these things. Okay, you know, our children know exactly where they come from. They know the people that they come from. And they also know our culture, because we teach our children these things. Once she and I became aware of these things, we started teaching our children these things. Now, why does this matter? Because now our children are able to pass this information down to our grandchildren. We have 2 grandchildren. All right, one is just turned 2, and the other one is getting ready to turn 1 in September. Okay, and then my son, I went back and I reached out to my son, you know, and I began to teach my son our culture. Okay, and for those who don't know, you know, if you go to like my Instagram, you scroll on the page, you see my son in the dashiki, you know, and on that day, the pictures that you see us in, that is the day that I taught him about the culture, and that is the day, you know, that I made him aware of who we actually are, where we come from, you know, and start telling him, you know, our bloodline and things of that nature. And then I raised my son already morally, okay, from when he was a child, okay, up until adulthood. My son will be 21 years old in May, okay? And I taught my son how to respect his mother from a very, very early age. Now, you know, I am a former practitioner of Christianity. However, it still taught me good morals. Okay, it still taught me good morals. I will never negate the fact that I was taught to be a loving person, an upright person, a giving person. Okay, a person that's seen about the souls of humanity, going about doing good. Okay, to be a peacemaker. Okay, to spread joy. Okay, to spread peace wherever I went. Okay, so I was at least taught that. And then I taught my son those same values. Okay, so the generational curse is broken because my father, unfortunately, had abandoned us. And I say us because I have siblings. I'm the oldest. Okay, and I have a brother and I have 2 sisters. Okay, and so once I became a father myself, I ensured that my son will have a more stable foundation of life than I did. That my son will be raised to be an upright man, okay, to be a man of chivalry. And I taught my son how to pull out the chair for his mother, you know, how to open up the door for his mother, okay, how to respect his mother, okay. When my son got out of line, no matter how upset my son was with his mother, and even if she was wrong, I always let him know, listen, that is still your mother. Okay, regardless, she may be wrong, but that never gives you the right. That is not grounds for you to ever disrespect your mother. She is your mother. She is your elder. You do not do that. Okay, I taught my son to also marry within the family. Okay, some people have a problem with that. And it's because, unfortunately, we have been brainwashed to believe that we're being negative when we talk about marrying in the family. Listen, the importance of doing this is so that the bloodline can stay alive and so that the wealth can be passed down, okay, amongst us. When you marry outside of the family, the wealth goes outside of the family. Okay? It doesn't get passed down to another African woman, okay? And so that the mother can continue to take care of the child or the children, and so that the wealth can be passed down from generation to generation. Likewise, an African woman, if she marries outside, okay, if she transitions and then she's married outside of the family, then the wealth still is going outside of the family. Okay, so we must change, we must shift this narrative about this being hate teaching, because it has nothing to do with hate. It has everything to do with love. Okay, because we need to learn how to love ourselves. Okay, I know that we are in a big melting pot, all right, called America, and that there's multiple ethnic groups that we have access to. Okay, but that still does not negate the fact that we still are indigenous. Okay, and that we need to keep it in the family. All right. And this is very important for the reason that I aforementioned. Oh, because when we do this, what we do is we breed ourselves out to the point where we become extinct. Okay? And so we must marry amongst ourselves to keep the bloodline going. And we need to teach our child and our children that. And some people don't understand that. It's not that you're trying to control them. No, this has something to do with carrying on tradition. Okay? The survival of our people. Okay, this has something to do with cooperative economics. And we must understand too that the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, are not restricted to being taught just during the month of December, on December 26th, all the way to January the 1st, okay, which is the 7 days of Kwanzaa, our feast. Okay. So if you don't know of any African custom that you and your family can actually practice, okay, I highly encourage you to find out about Kwanzaa, okay, because it does entail the children and it gives them a sense of pride in who they actually are, okay, and it makes them aware of their culture. It gives them cultural pride, all right? So I'm going to break down these 7 principles real quick, and I'm going to show you how these principles are fundamental principles, and these are principles that we should live by every day. Okay, these are principles that should be lived by 365 days out of the year. Okay, not just during Kwanzaa. See, when we do this, what we do is, unfortunately, we're not really teaching a solid African principle. Okay, what we're doing is we're unfortunately succumbing to the Europeans' way of thinking. Okay, and that's not what we do. Okay, we're African every day. Okay, you know what I'm saying? 365 days out of the year, not just in the month of February. You know what I'm saying? Not just in the month of December. Okay, we're indigenous people 365 days out of the year. It's our responsibility to teach our child and our children our culture and our history. Okay? All right, so we wouldn't have to complain about our children not learning their history if we were teaching them at home. Okay? It is not the teacher's responsibility to instill morals in our children. It's our responsibility. Okay, and that's our problem. Okay, we leave our children or our child to somebody else to raise them, and that's a problem. Because how can you expect them to have an African mind when you give them over to a European type of teaching, right? All right, so Nguzo Saba, 7 principles. Umoja is unity. And this will restore, when we teach these type of things, this is what will restore, all right, the family orientation in the community. If parents teach these principles, I guarantee you that the family orientation will be restored back in the indigenous community, the African community, all right? Umoja, U-M-O-J-A, unity, Swahili for unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Kujichagulia, Kujichagulia, is self-determination. Define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Ujima. I love Ujima. I love them all, but I love Ujima. Collective work and responsibility. Build and maintain our community together and make our brother and sisters' problems our problems and to solve them together. Now, the reason why we're so divided because a lot of us don't have this mindset. If these type of things were being taught in our homes, then we will have a more peaceful neighborhood. Okay? I guarantee you we will not have as many murders. Okay? And we wouldn't see all the corruption that we see in our communities should we be teaching things like this. Ujama, cooperative economics, to build and maintain our stores, shops, and other businesses to profit from them together. Now, could you imagine all of our brothers and sisters who are wealthy in the entertainment arena, the athletic arena? Could you imagine? Could you imagine all of our people who have degrees, okay, in the medical field, in economics, okay, in law, those who go get their degrees in construction, engineering, technology? Could you imagine how built up our communities would be if our people had the mindset to come back and to pour their dollars back into the communities and to establish businesses in our communities? Listen, if you go over to Africa, it's nothing but us. Majority of the places. I'm not saying every place because that'd be inaccurate. I'm just saying that when you go over there, you see this. Why? Because it's predominantly us. Right? So the truth of the matter is really, we love to use the Ashkenazis as an example. We love to use the Chinese people as an example. We love to use them as an example. The truth of the matter is we got plenty of examples of that over in Africa. Plenty of examples of that. In fact, the clothing that I wear comes straight from Ghana. It comes from Accra. The jewelry that we sell for the women comes straight from Kenya. The body wash that I use, the body oil that I use, African owned and operated businesses, right? So we just need to do it more. But see, us as parents, we have to teach this to our children to have a mind to be a family builder and a community builder and to build their lives upon solid principles that will build them up mentally, make them mentally strong, and give them cultural pride. Nia, purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. And this is what we're doing today, Nia. Restoring our people back to our traditional greatness. We have to bring our tradition back to our community. Now, I'm not saying everything because, again, unfortunately, there are some African traditions that unfortunately oppress the woman. Okay, and historically, you will see that doesn't come from the European. That's the reason why we got to research, because we have a bad case of psychosis. We don't want to deal with reality that some of those things like clitoris mutilation that did not come from a European. It didn't. That is a historical fact. Okay, clitoris mutilation did not come from a European. I'm going to say that again. Clitoris mutilation in Kenya did not come from a European. All right. That is very painful. Some of the women, they leave their villages, okay, because of the pain and because it makes no sense for them to do that to them whatsoever. Okay. So see, I have to highlight the positive and the negative. I don't believe in sugarcoating anything. Okay. A teacher tells you the truth and they reveal all things to you, not just the good things. Okay. So some things we need to get rid of. Proof is Thomas Sankara did that. Julius Nyerere did that. Both of them, peace and blessings be upon them, the ancestors, when they took over. Julius Nyerere was the first president of Tanzania. When he took over, he established communities over in Tanzania called Ujamaa communities. Okay? So Julius Nyerere lived by those principles. And Thomas Sankara is the one who changed Upper Volta name to Burkina Faso when they defeated the British over there. Okay? And they restored the women back to their traditional greatness. They put them back on their thrones. They gave the respect back to the woman. Okay? In Ifa, you have Oshun and Yemoja. Okay? So you have females Orishas that we pay homage to and show respect and love to. Why? Because we have mothers. We have our iyas, our mamas, right? And so as men, if our men tap back into our tradition, okay, it is a shame for a man not to fight for his people. It is a shame for a man to let somebody to disrespect his woman. It is a shame for a man to allow another tribe to come into his village and to take it over. That is a shame for a man to do such a thing. Okay? And your family represents you. The man is the warrior. The man is the protector. Love has to go back into the heart of the African man. Because see, the reason why we're so weak as men, because we lack love. Love is the superpower. See, we've been taught that showing our emotion, showing how much we care is weak, but it's actually strength. And the reason why a lot of our men are in the state that we're in is because we lack the moral teachings of love. The mindset that we have is destructive. This is the reason why we have single parent mothers, so many single parent mothers out here, because they lack the teaching like this. Fundamental teachings. The teaching of love, to restore, to care about his people, to care about his community. Then we won't have our brothers out there selling drugs and gang banging and tearing up the communities and putting graffiti all on the wall and urinating all over the place. And we won't have that. Kaumba, creativity. That's Kuumba, creativity. To do always as much as we can in the way that we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it. Imani, faith. Imani. To believe with all of our heart in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. This is our prayer that we pray, and I'm getting ready to close. Alofi, we call upon you today, this hour, this minute, this second, to help heal our community. This is a family prayer. Heal us so that we may guide the healing of others, so that we may do the good work you have destined for us to do in this land, this world, this universe. May we be in alignment with your divine plan. May we be in alignment with our inner and higher self. May we triumph in all of our journeys to defend your name, your word. May the evolution, preservation, maintenance of our tradition be in your hands as you guide us towards love. Okay? So I just simply wanted to share those principles with you today and to touch on what we need to do to bring back the family orientation in our community. Because of the lack of wise teaching and moral teaching, because of the lack of instilling the proper morals in our young men and in our young women, we have the product of what we see for the lack thereof. And what we see is the byproduct of us not teaching these type of things. What we see is the byproduct of what happens when we're disconnected to our culture. We become disconnected from one another. And we must connect back to the source. So this love energy can flow back into our communities and bring restoration and to bring healing into our communities. Who would dare molest a child if they were living upright? Who would dare rape if they was living upright? Who would dare murder and burglarize and vandalize and steal if they was living upright? See, what we see in family, the dissemination of this lower energy, this egotistical society that they only love money more than they love them own selves, okay, more than they love anybody else, they love money. And this is the reason why you see such corruption being advertised, homosexuality. Okay, in the hip hop videos, these gangster rap videos, you have alcoholism and you have, narcotics in the videos, and you have loose women in the videos. And the lyrical content is laced with lyrics that influences the thought process of our young men and women alike. It's sad now when you even hear the way women talk in these songs. All type of corrupt lyrical content coming out of the mouths of these women. And then we wonder why we lack respect for one another. We wonder why the man doesn't respect the woman and why the woman doesn't respect the man. It's because a lot of us have allowed this to come into our houses. And none of us, how many of us said anything? Okay. And Luke is my brother. I love the brother, but he was very foul. Okay. Luke was very foul. How many people said anything about the lyrical content? How many of us, how many parents bound together like the Caucasians did and said they didn't want to hear that type of stuff being played? The Caucasian parents sure did. They say, no, we don't want this to be played. No, this need to be banned in the USA. And then Luke came out with the song, and I can't lie, that was funny. When he was talking about I was banned in the USA. They literally banned him. And then what they tried to, matter of fact, what they not tried to, but what they did use was the freedom of speech. And allow him to continue to rap such foul lyrical content. And if anybody heard that content, how in the world could you say that that wasn't negatively influential on the minds of our men and our women? The dances that they were doing, the way that they were dressed, the way the men were talking. And then that's where the parental, label came from on the records. It was from Luke, from that case, right? Parental discretion is advised, right? But how many of us say anything about banning gangster rap? And you know the reason why a lot of our parents don't say anything? Because that's their meal ticket. That's their way out of the hood. You understand what I'm saying? Some of these hip-hop parents, hip-hoppers parents, gangster rapper parents, they all about it. They celebrate their son. Their family celebrate. Everybody jumping up and down. But the only thing they're doing is continuing corruption being spread in our community. See, the problem is, family, we don't care because we've been programmed not to care. You understand? We've been programmed to embrace destruction. We've been programmed to love wickedness. There's a war going on with the genders. The man against the woman against the man. You got children disrespecting their parents. Okay? You got some parents out there partying with their children and getting high with their children. I've seen it firsthand. I'm not just talking. I'm telling you what I've seen. I'm not telling you what I overheard. I've seen this with my own eyes. Okay? The mother knowing her son selling drugs. No problem. See, what we tolerate is what's terminating us. I'm going to say it again. What we tolerate is terminating us. How many parents speak out against? Every time African History Month comes up, it's always a slave movie being played. How many of our parents get involved with their children's curriculum? How many of them ask, what did you learn today? What did you watch today? What's going on in school? See, family, the reason why that we're in the state that we're in because we don't care. And that's sad. We don't care. And because the lack of us caring is the reason why we're seeing ourselves self-destruct. Unfortunately, slavery, family, has made us numb. Understand me very clearly. Slavery is a Novocaine. The brainwashing of the African via slavery is a Novocaine. The lies that we've been taught is a Novocaine. It has made us numb to the fact that we talk like them, we dress like them, we think like them, we act like them. We have their names. Some of us don't even want to even have African titles on our businesses using African words. I heard our own people say, well, nobody's going to want to do business with us because, we have African names. See, that's the problem. We don't even want to name our children African names because the first thing we say, they want to hire you. They won't hire you. Why do we do that? Because we've been programmed. Parents have been programmed and see us as parents, us as elders in our communities. Okay, even though I'm 43 years old, I'll be 44 in August. Okay, August 27th, Virgo's in the building. So I'm a father and I'm a grandfather still. I still have a responsibility to teach my child and to teach my grandchildren to be proud of who they are. And my queen and I sat down and we instructed, our son, tell them who they are, where they come from. Tell them their roots. Listen, I literally had to ask one of my elders what I am. My elder didn't traditionally tell me what I am. I had to ask what I am. And family, if you don't see that that's a problem, then that's a problem. Our men and our women are marrying outside of our people. That's a problem. It is not okay. Okay, we can interact with another ethnic group without marrying them. We can still be at peace with them without marrying them. We don't have to marry them. What we need to do is to restore our people back to their traditional greatness. Nia. Restore us back to our traditional greatness. This what I have on is the Akoko nun. Okay? And it's Sankofa. It means to restore us. Okay? Back to that which we have been cut off from. Okay? And it's us, those of us who are conscious, we must bring this type of teaching to the community and to wake them up and to make them aware, family, we've been asleep long enough. It's time to wake up. Okay, I don't use this term, we're behind. This is not no race to me. I'm not trying to catch up to no other ethnic group. No, what I'm focusing on is restoring us back to our mind. And to help us to understand, see, a lot of us, we don't understand accountability. Okay, we are accountable to each other. Yes, we are accountable to each other. You are my responsibility. I'm your responsibility. It is our responsibility to help each other to level up spiritually, physically, in our health, and financially. Those of us who are conscious, we are one another's responsibility. Our people are our responsibility. It is our responsibility to bring to their awareness what they are not aware of because we've been brainwashed. And this is not to stir up hate. No, this is to stir up within us a love for ourselves, to understand why we need to stay in the family, to understand why we're in the state that we're in, and not only to understand that, but to do something about it so we will no longer continue to be in the dilemma that we are in. Some of us don't even have life insurance. If we die today, our children are going to continue to be broke. We don't even have a life insurance policy, but we have Gucci bags. So that lets me know that we're not even teaching our children because we don't even know. We don't even understand the power of life insurance. And so we leave our children no inheritance, and then we continuously have poverty being passed from generation to generation to generation because we too focus on looking wealthy instead of actually being what we're portraying. Some of us have houses and we don't even know what equity is. I am serious about this. I am telling you what I know. If it wasn't for my queen teaching me about equity, family, I would have bought a house when I was single. And this is the truth. I would have bought a house when I was single, not understanding the importance of home ownership. Okay? Owning land, owning a house. We're too focused on what the Joneses are doing, watching Housewives and all this other foolishness, man. We are too distracted as a people. And then you got people right now begging, pleading with the government for help. Because unfortunately, a lot of us are financially illiterate. We don't understand that, a house is an investment. A lot of us are not investing in the stock markets. A lot of us, we're more focused on going on vacations, okay? Going to the club, and I'm talking about us as adults. And this is the reason why a lot of our children are messed up, because we're messed up. A lot of us are messy, and this is the reason why we have so much mess going on in the community, and this is the reason why it stinks to be a part of our community, because we got so much mess going on, and we need to clean it up. And the only way we can clean it up, family, is going back to more teaching. Going back to more teaching. See, love compels me to teach like this. Love compels me to start a business, a network business, so we can learn about each other and know what each other does. Synergetic Network Group LLC, which is your community liaison for entrepreneurs and consumers, okay, is to bring us together, our skill sets together, and employ them, and to bring attention, okay, to the community about what we are doing. We are so brainwashed to where we'll share a fight before we'll share a teaching on what will make us upright. I'm going to say it again. We're so messed up to where we'll share a fight before we share information that'll make us upright. You got all type of perversions going on. Okay? You got all type of sexual moral things going on. Our men and women are even being involved in sex trafficking. Okay? So don't tell me that more immorality is not a problem. It is a problem. And until we learn how to discipline ourselves and how to live wholesome lives, we're going to continue to see chaos. Not only in this community, but in the world. Until humanity subscribes to moral principles, we're going to continue to see corruption on a global scale. You mark my words. Understand me very clearly. And I'm getting ready to close right here, right now. It's not enough to vote. Here's why. Because who's in power? The reason why we continue to go through the things that we go through, family, is because of who's in power. How can justice be served when you have an unjust person in a position of power? When the wicked rule, the people mourn. But when the upright rule, the people rejoice. Brother Ma, what does this have to do with family? Because we see a lot of wicked, young people, because they look at their parents. Now, I'm not saying that's always the case, because our children make choices once they leave out of our presence. I'm not going to put it all on the parents, but I'm saying that a part of the problem is because the parents are wicked. So they raise wicked children who spread wickedness in the community. But if you had upright parents that taught their children how to be upright, then uprightness will be spread throughout the community. So in closing, my name is Amal Mari. I am the founder of El Kevlan Unity Alliance, where we focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. My queen Amani Amar is a co-founder. You can follow us on Instagram at @elkebalan_unity_alliance. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Al-Kebalan Unity Alliance. Okay? And you can also check us out on our business page. Okay, Synergetic Network Group, we're the community liaison for entrepreneurs and consumers. Okay, we're here for your needs. Okay, so we would love to connect with you if you have a business. We would love to be a part of that, to help to advertise your business, to bring you potential customers or customers. Okay, so you have either a product or a service. We would love to connect with you. Okay, we also have a business group entitled Synergetic Global Business Connection, where we're connecting entrepreneurs throughout the diaspora, where we're coming together to share our knowledge and also supporting one another and purchasing each other's product and paying for each other's service. Okay, in that group as well. Okay, it's also a platform for you to come on there and to be able to share your intellectual property, to be able to help to empower us so we can level up as a community and so we can start winning together. Okay, and to be able to have economic power so that we can fight back. Because when you go to court, okay, you're going to need resources. And guess what? Look at what happened to Byron Allen. I'm just saying. So we all know that money is not the answer to all things, even though we heard that verse before. Okay, because Byron Allen is a billionaire and he still lost his court case. Why? Again, you got immoral people that are just sitting in a position of justice. Anyway, go ahead on, click on that link. Make sure you join us, okay, in our business group, and join our Instagram page. Listen, if you follow us, we'll follow you back. Okay, so it's not all about just us. It's about you too. Okay, as long as your content is worthy of us following, we will follow you. Okay, but that's who we like to connect with, is people who are doing business right. Okay, so we love you all. We pray to continue to have a blessed day. All the links is provided in the header of this video. So you won't have no reason for you not to know how to get there. Okay, so click on there. Let's partnership with one another and let's help each other go forward. Love y'all, man. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Peace.